Madam Mayor, it is 9:02 and we are live.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the January 25th, 2023 pre-agenda meeting. Can we have the roll call, please?
Mayor Betty Resch.
Here.
Vice Mayor Christopher McVoy.
Here.
Commissioner Sarah Maliga.
Here.
Commissioner Kimberly Stokes.
Here.
And Commissioner Ronaldo Diaz is absent at present.
Okay, thanks. Real quick, guys, I have to be at an in-court hearing up in West Palm Beach this morning, so I'm going to cut out at like 9:30 so that I don't be late for the judge because they hate that. So I just want to give you a warning. I'm going to cut off at like 9:30, 9:40. So that it's not that I'm upset. It's just that I have to go to work. Good meeting last night. Thank you, everybody. I think it was really, we asked good questions. We posed good things. Kim, I think that was great about splitting things up and getting that response from William that we could possibly do that. So I think last night was a good meeting, and I appreciate it. So I'm going to start real quick just because I may have to cut out, and I don't have anything major today. I'm going to be drafting and probably dictating to Sylvina the letter about the schools because I can't, we got to get that in today. Today's Wednesday, so it's a good idea. And I went to the Pineapple Beach Neighborhood Association meeting the other day, and one thing that this is a recurring theme that I've heard from a number of people due to the fact that, there's no parking on the streets anymore. If you live in a certain neighborhood, my street, I used to be like one of 3 cars on the street. And now when I come home, there are many times that it's really hard to get a parking space. And Pineapple Beach apparently has been very hard hit by this because they're very multifamily. People are doubling up because they can't afford to live, they have to double up on apartments. So I just want to, at some point, because we're very busy right now, but I just want to put it back on the table of it to think about parking decals for residential areas, for the areas that are affected. Not everyone needs them, but some groups do. So I just want to kind of put that up there for us to think about. Apparently St. Augustine and another number of other cities do it, and just something to look at. So other than that, I'm sort of distracted by this court hearing this morning. So that's kind of all I have right now. So who has a burning issue they want to bring up? Who wants to go first? I think we're tired. Kim, we should do this morning of a meeting the night before.
I know. I'll go first just because I know I was talking to our city manager about the Tallahassee days and trying to nail down what day we all want to go together as a group. And thought this would be a great opportunity while we're all together to just look at our calendars. And I don't have Richard Pinsky's email up. I don't know if you do, Carmen.
Yeah, I do.
Okay. So I wanted to bring that up. And then the other thing, I just had a question I have 3 things. So I had a question for you, Mayor, about if you've been trying to pursue the community kitchen idea at all. I just saw a article in the newspaper today about Delray's giant marketplace, like the biggest one.
Closing.
We don't need that, but our version is like a cute little, like, I know you've talked about it a lot even before.
Yeah.
I didn't know if there was anything happening there.
A little bit of an update. We had a meeting yesterday with Bob and Shaw, who owns the 1000 building, behind City Hall, and he owns the 14 Southeast. Behind the Echo building, there's that 1-story building, kind of a low 1 concrete building. That's where he's talking about trying to do. He's been talking to some people I know about trying to do some sort of food court there. It's much smaller. It's not grandiose like Delray was. And he's reached out to the Guatemalan community. I think he's talked to the Guatemalan Center. And he, so that, it's got to be, where would we put it? We don't have the funds to do it, but he's well aware of the fact. I've been bugging him for a year about trying to do something like that. So we hopefully that's the only reasonable thing that I've heard about it, that might work.
Good. Yeah. I didn't want that to drop off.
I wanted to
I know we can't talk outside and try to plan and work together to get these things going. And I think it would be really great for us to have something that shows the diversity of our town and our character, but
totally.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of construction stuff on that building. And the other thing we talked about yesterday is kind of on a fun note. We talked about, because he's good friends with some celebrities, as we know. And we talked about the idea of having a actually William brought it up, a battle of the chefs as a event. We have very famous chefs in Palm Beach County. Guy Fieri might be behind sort of sponsoring it. So that's just something kind of fun that we talked about maybe doing. It's, you know, we sit, we can all sit and talk, oh, this would be fun, this would be fun, but actually getting it done is
I
a little more
know.
complicated. But I would like to have, and like we would do that perhaps in October, November, before the, you know, as the season's starting, before it gets too crowded and after the hurricane season when it's too hot. So that's something I'm going to be pursuing.
Okay.
To see if we can do this. So I know I'm completely in, we need to the food court thing, you know, our local food court thing. And I just got an email from somebody and it's really sad because their daughter, or their niece or something got a notice to appear because she was selling food that her mother cooked out of the house, which you're not supposed to do, which for whatever reason, I don't have that much of a problem with it, but I know you're not supposed to do it. I mean,
Mhm.
it's a cultural thing that people do forever. I mean, every mixed neighborhood I've ever been in has the lady down the street there for $5 you get a good dinner on
Yeah.
a to-go plate, you know, but apparently for some reason we are cracking down on that and I don't really know why, but it happened. So and I have no way to tell him that there's, you know, she goes, well, can I get a permit? I'm like, yeah, I don't think so. So we've got to
Right.
figure out, you know, the street vendor thing as well.
Yeah. Okay.
So Tallahassee, let's look at the dates for Tallahassee.
All right, I had one other thing though there. I
Okay,
just,
yeah.
my last thing is, I know I've brought up the rules of decorum and everything before in the past, and I do think, I just want to give you some appreciation, Mayor, because they're about redirecting the comments, like we don't address the audience, we address the commission, but I'm pretty sure it's even more specific, like we address the mayor.
Well.
And I know, but like there's just, and then the outburst in the back of the room with like the
Yeah, I
allegation.
thought
that
not gonna happen. The other
we're
thing too,
not
Kara, yeah, go ahead.
Fair, like we are fair, like we've, so I'm glad that you try to squash that outburst. And the only other thing that I was a little bit bothered by, because even though it wasn't directed at me, there were a lot of questions on another commissioner's integrity. And I feel like if that happened to me, I might want an immediate chance to respond. Like the first time it happens, like, hey, city attorney, can we clarify this? Or I'm not sure where the line is
And here's,
between
I
a
understand,
personal attack on a commissioner, or, you know, because if I was actually doing something wrong, the public absolutely has a chance to bring that up,
Right,
but
right. And I had
if
no
I'm
idea,
not
you know, what
hearing
they were
it
talking.
over and over.
Right. The reason I didn't stop it and go, that's because number one, it wasn't like personal, I hate you, you have a bad haircut. It was about behavior. So, and I thought to myself, I was saying, what do I do with this? My feeling at the time was, and I think I'm pretty confident about this, is that to respond at that time would to give it life, would to breathe life into that. I thought it was, you know, whatever, I read the article, you know, the couple letters about, you know, Chris recusing himself. I'm like, you know, he did have the opportunity, you know, you did have the opportunity later. And it wasn't, so that's why I didn't really say stop, you know, and ask to see, because I just want to stop the flow and also kind of have it become a discussion, because then other people were going to talk. It just felt like let it die a death and let it come back up when Chris can have a chance to. But I understand your it was one of those moments I just had to make a kind of on-site decision about what to do.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't know about I wasn't aware of the letter. I didn't know what they were talking about. So I just thought, don't get into it here. Chris is a grown-up man. He's a big man. He can, you know, address that when he gets the chance. That was my reason behind it. And it was an awkward moment. And I'm really trying to keep, like you said, you know, the cheering and the booing. That's not how we do it. The one thing I'm going to text Kara, this reading thing, she can't do that. She's either got to send it to the, you know, to the right thing, not have me read it out. You know, she just drops the card off and goes home. And it really should be, if you're going to not read it, you should have it at the, on the website. So
Right. So Peggy Fisher has handed us cards before of people who weren't even in the building. Like she has handed us cards before. So I find it, you know, we either are establishing a rule for everybody.
Right. Well, I mean, Kara does it a lot. You know, Kara does it pretty really, but I mean,
either
I agree
doing it or we're not doing it.
I agree with you. I agree with you.
Yeah. So if it's for everybody.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I know how, for me, if it's hard to tell, is this gonna, when the first time a comment comes up, if it's questioning my integrity, because I know like, people have thrown accusations, misguided misunderstanding of how sunshine law works. That we're allowed to talk, just not about things that we're going to be voting on. Like, if like it's one comment and like we're going to move on, then yeah, I agree. I tend to not want to like give it attention or merit. But if you never know, like, is it going to be like 20 comments of like having
I
to hear this
think if
over
it
and
turned
over?
into something like that, I would have addressed it. That's what I said. It was like, I think Aaron Allen and somebody in the commission chambers. So, I mean, that's my response. I mean, how do you know what to do when something like that happens? My judgment at that point was let it happen, let it not breathe life into it. So, and Chris did have the opportunity. So I'm aware of this. I was aware it was awkward, but I also it wasn't like a personal attack. It was a professional attack. So, we'll, hopefully that those things won't come up again. But I totally appreciate what you're saying. And it was obviously a moment of, now what do I do?
Well, I mean, I would just like to state my position that a lot of times people get into office because they feel passionate about an issue. Like if you're, my son was murdered and now I've like signed every petition about gun violence and I care deeply about gun violence and now I'm running for office. Like to have to recuse yourself from anything gun violence would be ridiculous. So like just questioning the integrity of anybody who felt passionate about old buildings or felt passionate about any issue that we've cared about and wanting us to recuse ourselves, I think is just, it's just a strange thought process. So I hope we're all on board that we are allowed to have opinions and we're allowed to be passionate about things. Yeah. And that doesn't lend us to like not being able to participate in conversations.
Not disagreeing.
Okay.
Okay, so
I have my calendar open.
Okay, thank you. Let's all open our calendars. We've got the Palm Beach County Days. Is Sylvina on board here? No.
No, but I do have the dates, Mayor.
She is
Right.
listening, Mayor.
Oh, okay.
Oh, there she is.
Hey, Sylvina.
Yes, Sylvina.
Here she is. Okay, so I have down Tallahassee on March, like the week of March 13th. I think that was a week. And Sylvina was going to reach out to Richard to find out exactly what days in that week would work to have him shuffle us around. Right, Sylvina? Oh, she's not.
No, I believe so. I think that's the week. So we need to reach out. Go ahead, Sylvina.
I don't know if she's.
Oh, that she was about to say something.
Yeah. And then the Florida League of Cities in Tallahassee is the 3rd to the 6th of April.
Correct.
There was, what he has said consistently is the Palm Beach County Days are not as effective because you really don't, there's so many people there that you just kind of get shuffled around and you don't get any meetings. We were able to have a couple fairly substantive meetings last year when we went up there. Right. So my plans are to go up at some point during the week of the 13th and then probably again the 3rd and the 4th, that block of time in April. And the more the merrier.
And Mayor, just to clarify, the Palm Beach Days is separate from that midweek in March?
Yeah. Yeah. I think the Palm Beach County Days, and I don't have it in front of me. It's a whole different, I wish Sylvina would respond. It's a whole different.
It's the week of the 8th.
It's the week of the 8th, March 8th.
Okay. Oh yeah, there are Palm Beach County Days. So yes, the 7th and 8th. So yeah, it's the week after that.
And the League of City Days are between April 3rd
and
April 6th.
So those are the two times I was thinking of going up.
Wait, so I'm confused. The Palm Beach County Days, you're not thinking about going up, but the League of City Days are the ones in April?
Yes.
Yeah.
And you're going to go to a couple of those in April, the League of City Days.
Well, yeah, I'll go up there for a couple of days. I'll go up for March, whatever days are best on March, that week of March 13th. And then again on April 3rd, whatever days work for that, but those 2 blocks of time.
All right. Are we looking to give, to hear guidance from Richard Pinsky, or do we want to tell him what days work are better for the majority of us?
Probably we would go by his schedule because he's the one that is shuffling a lot of people around. But I think there should be some flexibility. I mean, I think it would be great if there's a bad day for you, let Sylvina know, and then we can work around that.
Okay, and when do we think we'll know by, so I can request today's off?
Well, we know now. With Richard Pinsky.
Yeah, like, yeah.
Well,
to narrow
what,
it down.
Mayor?
Yeah.
Mayor, if I can suggest, if tell me what days you decide to want to go. If you want to go during the week of March 13th, or you want to go to one of the different event time periods, the Palm Beach County Days or the League of City Days, and then we will then tailor the time frame on the air, and depending on the events you want to go to.
Okay.
Well, it's not
I'm
really
sorry.
events, it's
Sylvina's having difficulty. She's trying to get on so she can speak.
I'd have to step away for a second.
it's it's not events, it's really just it's just walking from the long halls of legislatures, that he finds a time, he sets up a time where, like, this senator has 10 minutes for us to go in. Like, he sets all the meetings up, because if you don't set them up, you don't get to see anybody. So we rely on him for the timing. But if we give him the days, I'm assuming he'll be available during those blocks of time. That's his job.
Okay, well, the end of the week in March, the week of March 13th, the end of the week, like that Wednesday, Thursday, Friday is better for me. So if
Wednesday, Thursday. Okay,
yeah,
so
that's discussing with him possible dates.
Okay.
If he has to do it the 13th and 14th, we'll deal
Did
with
somebody
it.
but me take a note for that for Kim, Carmen, or Shayla?
I'm taking note.
Okay, I figured you would.
And I would probably want to travel Wednesday morning, so I don't know, but we can
A
at
long
least
ride.
we can at least get the ball rolling, if I have
Yeah,
to.
I'll go up
It's not
earlier. I mean, I'll
started.
probably go up earlier. Well, let's see what he says about
Yeah.
that time. And
Okay.
we can all, you can go to one that I don't go to, that sort of thing. Because I'll probably go up for a couple days. But I think we have guidance now to figure it out. You don't know yet. When will you know what days are better for you? Kim.
Me? Oh,
Yeah.
no, it's those days, like, Wednesday morning, I would be able to travel and be there Wednesday, Thursday, and then Friday, morning, I could maybe do something and then have to travel back home.
Okay, let's find out.
But, I
Let's find out.
I can wiggle around a couple hours here and there maybe if I need to, but, yeah, those are definitely the better days for me. I don't know if anybody else has preferences.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll have to go by him a little bit too, what
Right.
he's. All right. So, it's 9:20. Okay, so, Tallahassee. Park, okay, I was just putting my notes. You had Tallahassee, you had the other two things that you were talking about was the kitchen.
Yeah, the kitchen and the fine line of the personal attacks.
All right.
Are
Thank you.
three things.
Yeah, that was a fine line. It was unfortunate. I hope, as time goes by, I hope that sort of thing dies out. Because hopefully they're finding out that we're not all crazy. So, okay, Sarah, what about you? Wanna go?
I have nothing to say right now. Commissioner Stokes is setting up this morning. I'm actually gonna log off. I'll talk to you guys later.
Okay. Chris.
I'd just like to thank you Mayor, for the mention of the residential parking issue. I too have heard that, it certainly varies by neighborhood, but there are places where it's a very big deal for people. And parking in urban settings, we should definitely be aware of some of the best thinking that's floating around, best from other places. But I agree, we should look into options to try to give people some relief on that.
Yeah.
The other one that's not really directly related to parking, but sort of to neighborhoods is we've talked a number of times at some of the pre-agenda and at the regular ones about kind of a cohesive city beautification campaign that involves our code involves citizens, involves PBSO, involves Williams Shop, that we really mount a campaign that it's clear this is something that's important to us, and we are directing the work of the different parts of it to contribute to that. And we hope that citizens will contribute, and here's how it'll benefit us. I really think that we need a concerted campaign on that, put together by the city's staff with some direction from us.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
again, neighborhoods, it's not that big a deal, but some neighborhoods, it is a big deal.
No, we've talked about that before, and when I talk to neighborhood groups, I'm sure you've all heard, how do we fix the dumping going on, it's not, some tenant moves out, the landlord puts all the stuff, but it's not the day, so there it sits and it makes the neighborhood look terrible. That's a problem, and I guess and then the person, I've had clients where somebody dumped a bunch of crap in front of their house, they get ticketed for this trash, but it wasn't theirs. So
Right. They're a
I-
challenge, no question. But at least if we had a visible campaign, we might have some better cracks at it.
with signs and different, I agree. So let's, it's like a campaign. Like,
Yeah.
give a hoot, don't pollute.
Something along that line, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd love to know, because we have talked about a lot and I do feel for the staff, like we have a lot on our plates, but I would just love a ballpark, like when can we get to this?
You
So
tell us.
that we have like, let's like focus on this in April, like William did last night. He's like, it's going to be into March, April before we can get to this, but at least we have like something to know that like, it's on a list that will be,
Okay. All right, so let's say, and I'm gonna just jump in here and, I see Miss Davis' hands. So I better call on her. She's our boss.
No, I yield
Oh,
to
no,
you.
we got that
Mayor.
wrong. Okay,
No, I appreciate that. Certainly, we try to throw things on lists and just like William said, we try to go on deadlines, but we do have a number of things on our list. So a matter of fact, I plan on presenting that list to each one of you on our weekly meetings next week to help us prioritize, because we have a number of things. And so right now, we don't know what to pull out first or not, because we have a long list.
okay.
So we need to help. I need your help in telling me what we need to produce first and prioritize those items.
And this might be something that the neighborhood associations can help, the neighborhood association council might be able to help us with. Because everybody knows their own neighborhood.
Yeah.
So that's just a thought. And Kim, to your credit, not everybody, listen, we all go to neighborhood association meetings, and sometimes there's 30 people there and sometimes there's 2.
Right.
So it's not always indicative of the entire neighborhood, but it is just a place to start.
Right. And each neighborhood is unique. And so some neighborhoods may be managed differently.
Yeah,
But
Pineapple
certainly-
Grove,
Go
ahead.
ahead. I'm sorry.
I interrupted. Pineapple Beach is having a real problem with more sober houses now. A lot of apartments are being taken up as halfway houses again. And there's been some problems with that.
I have a pamphlet I was gonna give the city manager today at our check-in that I got at the Recovery Hub symposium of additional regulations that people have been able to, or different things that you've been able to do, and it's in practice in Florida, so it's something
okay.
we can look at, that we know, because I know our hands are tied a lot of times sometimes.
Right.
With what we can do, so I'm going to give that to Carmen today, that pamphlet, and it's an organization that has worked on this issue that
Right.
maybe we can look at.
Great, that would be
Great.
helpful. There's the neighborhood is suffering. I'm gonna cut out because I really don't want to be late for court. I'm gonna get myself in the car, drive up, park, schlep across the parking lot, go through and be cheery. So I will see Carmen. I'm gonna do my best to get out there to Loxahatchee at some point. If I don't, if court goes too long, it's juvenile court, so sometimes it takes a long time. If I don't show up, I'll see you in the afternoon after you get back.
Okay, and I'll update you on the happenings.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye, everybody. Good to see you. Again, thanks for last night. It was really good. A couple of people commented on what a good meeting it was, so I was happy to hear that. So have a great day. See y'all later. Bye-bye.
Court.
It's in your court now, Mr. McBoy. Take it over.
I think it's just us.
Yeah, there's just
I've already,
commissioners.
yeah, so
It's no
I think
longer a
we
quorum.
can just adjourn.
Oh, we have no longer a quorum. I'm sorry. Well, you can
I think
chit chat.
I think we've done what we needed to do. I don't know.
Yeah, I think we're
Okay, all right, take care. Bye-bye.
All right, bye.
Bye-bye. See you later, Commissioner Stokes.
bye-bye.
Bye-bye.